All right, welcome everybody to the Dave Cooper Live Show, where we showcase the people, the products, and the process helping us to build it better. So, how easy is it to set up a modular tiny home or prefab accessory dwelling unit? Today with Derek Huegel, owner of Wolf Industries, we're going to find this out. Join us to see how easy it is to design, build, permit, and install a factory-built tiny home or prefab accessory dwelling unit. Or is it? These granny flats are changing the way we think about style, efficiency, housing affordability, and more. So let's please give a warm welcome and 2 thumbs up to author, business owner, industry leader, Derek Huegel, serving markets in Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, and Utah. But before we do that, we have to thank our sponsors. So a big shout out to Forward Solutions Group and Howick Ltd. for allowing us to deliver these conversations. Forward Solutions Group is successfully driving companies to succeed where others have failed. Learn more about Forward's recent acquisition with Moducore and ERP Solution for Offsite Manufacturing. Please reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. And also a big shout out to Howick Ltd. They have a long history of innovation in cold form steel manufacturing and produces innovative precision roll forming technology for customers throughout the U.S. and the world. You'll want to go and check out their Machine Buyer's Guide for offsite modular construction or fast build construction with light steel for framing. Learn more at howickltd.com. All right, let's hop into it. Derek is waiting in the wings, and we're going to do a factory walkthrough with him today as well. Derek, what's happening, man?
Oh, man, just living the dream yourself.
Yeah, living the dream as well. I mean, Derek flying in by the skin of his pants. He had a big company meeting today, getting all the updates. So all the information Derek's going to share with us is going to be fresh today. We love it, and we love that you're growing. So, Derek, we ask everybody on this show, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Do not leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital because we will call your mother and have her on the show. However, you only have 2 minutes to do it, and then we're going to jump right in. Go for it.
There you go. You bet. Thanks for asking. Great segue. It was every meeting that I meet with my customers, same thing, start out from the beginning. In Grandpa's wood shop, 5-6 years old, pounding nails in a block of wood. No, don't swing from your elbow, swing from your shoulder, Grandpa would say. Progressively using more and more tools to where I was in high school, using all kinds of stuff, and took a career counseling class, and it said I should be a business owner or a carpenter. I said, okay, sounds good. Why don't I do both? So what I did is I downloaded the application, filled it out, and it said, got to the name for a company name. I said, what should I use? Mom and Dad had a wolf cooktop, and I thought, hey, that's cool, the name of the animal. What if I did eagle construction? That's a little too lofty. What if I did coyote construction? Well, that'd be a little shady. So why don't we just stick with wolf construction? From there, we said, what if we don't do construction in the future? I'm 15 at the time, right, in high school. So I said, let's do Wolf Industries, and that stuck. So fast forward, we did small projects in the back of people's work vehicles, plumbers, electricians, heating, cooling. We did all their organizational cubbies. So that died in 2008. Kind of dates me here. I'm 33 years old, got 6 kids, and live in a tiny house myself. But back to where we were at, building van shelving, that stopped. Then we did decks and sheds and garages and miscellaneous small projects. And that people's line of credit died up about 2009. But the Obama stimulus package rolled out. So we did pump stations, restroom buildings, and boardwalks from there on, doing public works. Well, that carried on to about 2010, and we did, at every stage, we were always wanting to do everything ourselves. It was just stuff we enjoyed doing. So from framing, roofing, siding, carpentry, just excavation, painting, just flooring. We love every aspect of construction. So in 2010, my buddy said you should build houses in North Dakota, oil boom. I said, no, thanks. That's a long ways away for my family. Why don't you go, and I'll back you from home. No, you go. My wife walked out and said, sounds like an adventure. Let's go. So off we went. We built 8 spec houses that year, digging the foundations, pouring the concrete, everything to roofing, the same program. Then a year later, moved back out west here in Washington State. And we said, you know what, we're still doing the commercial construction, but this just isn't satisfying to me. So what do I want out of life? You know, this business is running me. I'm not running it. So I did a little soul searching, and I wanted a fast, simple, smooth project. I'm all gas and no brakes. That's just my nature. So I wanted fast, simple, smooth. I wanted clean local work so I could be home with my kids, 4 of them at the time. And from there, we wanted clean local work and then a large market, high demand, scalable business model, and residual income. I said, if I could have those 4 things, that would be terrific. So I started figuring out what can I do, and we backed into modular by accident because I wanted to build a small house, as in AKA tiny house, put it on wheels and rent it out. That was going to meet my residual income, but that didn't meet code, and we got shut down left and right. So I don't recommend doing that. It's really difficult to find that. So we went to the jurisdictions, the local jurisdictions, asked them, hey, what's the best route to do this? Went to the state, went to the federal level, went to the RVIA Association. We went everywhere, turning over rocks and cross-referencing with each other, because one would say one thing, the other guy would say another thing. And we settled on this modular home factory process through the state. So I think everybody here on the show is pretty familiar with that, and brings us to today.
All right. So there's a lot to unwrap just on the personal level. So you personally live in a tiny home with your wife and 6 children?
Correct.
I love it. I love it.
The nice thing is you can add on to them, right, Dave? So modular, you can tie into it, whereas the HUD's red label product, you can't add on to. So we have an addition planned, I promise. And that's a holdover till we build our big house.
Right. I mean, 6, I mean, that's 8 of you. I mean, we just spent almost 2 years in a motorhome, 5 of us in 150 square feet. And the funny thing is, a lot of people would sit there and say, but it works. Like, when you figure it out, it's amazing how easy it is to make that space all come together and function efficiently versus having a bunch of empty rooms nobody ever uses.
Right. And I'm excited to show you guys here in these houses today what we got going on.
Yeah, we're going to look at that. So one of the other things that you said during your opening segment there was clean local work. What does that mean?
Yeah, so we were doing jobs out of town, and I'm like, I don't want to travel. I'm done doing the hotels and the 3 hours of driving just to get to the job site. So we bring the work to the guys at the shop, the inverse, right? And then we ship out finished product. I mean, it's the essence of modular.
Sure. And you guys are growing, right? I want to put it out there right away that, you are looking for people. So if you're interested in a job, you want to reach out to Wolf Industries, but also you have over 50 team members now, correct?
Right. It's mind blowing. It's like nuts.
Yeah. And how much have you been growing year after year?
Oh, I think I'd say 35-50%. I mean, maybe almost higher numbers than that. I don't know the exacts. I mean, we did. Yeah.
A lot. Well, I think it's great that you're growing. I mean, tiny homes are really starting to, grasp, the country in a big way. Homes aren't affordable anymore. We have a lot of people aging out, right, that need a place to live, whether that's with a family, an ADU, backyard, whatever the case is. And you saw a need for that. Now you're doing it in an area where it brings you happiness. It brings you.
Totally.
Right. I mean, because you're really providing a great product for a great reason and meeting a market dynamic that is so hurting for housing right now.
Totally. You nailed it. I mean, it's echoing what we live and breathe every day. I mean, I got on my desk here, a stack of leads just super high that I need to be following up with, Dave. All
right. Well, hey, that's the way it goes. Even a lobster outgrows its shell, as they say, so. And it gets painful sometimes, but that's what helps us grow and become better, at what we do. So what is the market looking like for you moving forward, Derek? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the market that you guys are currently working in, set up, who you serve, who your customers are, and then let's jump into a factory walkthrough. Sound good?
Super. Yeah, excellent. So if we have 100 houses that we sell, we're going to sell about 40. Well, let's say 10 of them is going to be a bulk order where someone's buying multiple units. And then the remaining 40% is going to be an investor Airbnb selling it as a spec scenario fixed on its own property. And the remaining 60% are aging parents wanting to live near or on their children's property. So that's kind of the broad spectrum. And like you mentioned in your intro about us is we're full service. We have an excavation. We'll see out in the yard, the excavator it's probably on a job site today, but there's a few of them, but full service from permitting department all the way through to delivery final setup and the white glove walkthrough.
Yeah, and there's very few companies that are doing that. I mean, I see more and more trying to do it, but I think that's part of your success. You're controlling the financials all the way through the actual property build cycle, delivery cycle, move-in cycle. So you guys actually have control of everything all the way.
Right. And that stems, and that's why I kind of emphasized that in the beginning in my intro is like, we come from a background and history of loving to do every aspect of it, right? Tackle it, solve it, and move on. Yeah. So and get a team member to support that area. And yeah, it does control it. And that's why we have 5-star reviews. Honestly, Dave, that's the only reason I can say it is because there's nobody that's going to drop the gap. You know, there's no gaps.
So tell me, like, how do you work in several states? How do you get contractors and trades to do it the same way, the right way, every time you need it? You say it's your team. So your team's going out there and putting these in and they travel state to state, or do you have team members in each one of the states that you deliver to?
We just travel, right? So there's a delivery crew and we just have to charge a delivery service fee. And honestly, it's within generally 120 miles of us, right? But yeah, Oregon, North Washington, Idaho. So a little further out, we might find somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, let's do this, man. Let's check out what you have going on in the plan. If you are out there and you're watching this, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So get your tweets on if you're not out there tweeting. The tiny home movement is big and it is happening in a big way. So this is going to be a lot of fun to showcase and talk about. And Derek and I were talking, we possibly are going to be out there hopefully in the near future. We can showcase some of this in person, in live views. Jennifer and I can do some reviews and have fun with it. So, all right, Derek, let's see what you got, man. Let's walk through.
You bet. Is there anything, it's going to be noisy out there. Is there anything in particular that we're going to want to look at? Do you have your...
Well, let's just go through the lines. Why don't you walk us through your process, how it works? You know, maybe on the way out, you can show us the engineering department. You know, how does everything happen? Just walk us through the sales cycle and the delivery cycle.
And I'm going to have to switch the phone around here.
Like go ahead, and I'll put you full string.
Okay, here we go. Done. And there we go. So I'll start out here for Wolf Industries, Inc. Come in through this front door. And we got sales seat to sit down here and have a discussion and go over all your options and so forth. And right here, we've got our entryway, which we walk through, pick out all of your cabinets and countertops and paint selections and all the flooring and goodies.
Yep.
And we roll down the office, document prep here on the right. You got to have a kitchenette. Can I get you a coffee? And then permitting department here. You can check out these girls if they want to say hi. They're cranking away on permits.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. Hello. You guys are live on the Dave Cooper Show. Admin assistant. Kelsey does everything. Here's planning. So these guys are putting the jobs together. Here's accounting. Neil. And here we got the shop manager and production manager, or purchasing.
How big is the facility you're in?
20,000 square feet.
Great.
So delivery and setup you got right here. That's the manager for that. Now we're in the factory. Down here is where we prefab and build any kind of fixtures and random stuff. We're building trailers and all kinds of process improvements. So if we can dream up and scheme something, we're gonna make it happen.
Sure. Now, Derek, do these sit on a steel chassis or are they on wood frames?
Wood frame. Wood frame. So I'm going to skip down here to kind of the prefab for cutting all of our components. We've got an upsaw with the tiger stop feeding that. Run all our material through there. And this is a cut package for the next house, queued up, ready to go. And then here's stage one, spinning around. Yeah. And we built this building, so we moved in 2021. We have our overhead crane back here, so we can kind of what's going on. Yeah. Just a real simple square up jig right here on the ground. Guys are working at waist height. They must have just assembled this house because otherwise they'd be working here. So they're inside this house. It takes them a couple days and boom, done.
So how many days from start to finish when you start a new build inside the factory does it take you?
We're looking at 6 slots, 3 days, 18 working days.
18 working days to build a house for a customer?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. 2x6 wall construction, fairly typical for modular. We build them inside out. Nice thing here is, you know, because it's out inside out, we can spray foam around these electrical outlets, keeping our air penetration down, or air changes per hour down to very low ratings.
And where you're building, what is the R values required for the exterior walls and roofing?
R21, but we're hitting R24 with the blown-in bat insulation.
Great.
So the prefab guys behind me just built this big old structure to support this roof as it comes through, and then they'll take the overhead crane and lift it out of its spot. So that's been real new for us.
So you know everything fits together perfectly when it shows up the job is what I'm hearing.
Because we didn't always do it that way, and I tell you, it was a pain in the butt when that roof showed up and it didn't quite fit. But because we own the delivery process, we're motivated to fix it here in the shop, so it goes together smooth.
Yeah, so important, you know, I think moving forward to be vertically integrated from start to finish on your projects.
I totally agree. Totally agree. So this is actually a duplex unit here. We got obviously 2 services. You can see on the left-hand side over here, we got a panel, and then we got this panel here.
And what's the ampage on these? Are they 200 amp?
Yeah, yep, 200 amp. We use all Leviton panels. Real nice. I'd recommend those for sure. You get with your local rep. Plumbing cart. That's been handy. We're working a lot of lean stuff for efficiencies. Having the tools, the shadow boards. You know what? It's all the simple stuff in life. Yeah. Boom, he disconnects his power, rolls it up, and he goes to his next spot. Like, you can't get any simpler.
Absolutely.
So, moving on to the next stage. Oh, here's the spray foam like I was mentioning. It's all sealed in there.
You can't do that in a site build house.
No, you can't. Not at all. That's what we like about modular.
Yeah.
So here's the production line. As we're going down, we got Hardy certified installers. It was kind of interesting. I had to go to a class to learn how to do this. You install this piece, caulk the end of this, and then put this on later like you're putting brick together, so that caulk then squishes out. You ever try to put caulk in a fine line crack? It never works.
Yeah, so, and for people out there, we used to use the Hardy training program, and they actually come out. They do a great job to teach how to do it the right way. So that's great that you put that out there, because there are training programs for people.
Yeah, and we send our guys, and even the drip edge and the flashing and all the stuff, it's all properly done. We live in the Northwest, and it's wet.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that water gets shed out and away. Let's see, what else can we show you here?
So what's the width and length, and how many different widths and length models do you have?
We run 2 widths. This one is 14 feet wide, and then this one right here is 10 feet wide. Then we have 4 lengths, 30 foot, 32 feet long, and 40 foot long, and 44 feet long. So ranging in 300 to 600 square feet.
Got it. It simplifies everything when you're doing this, right? To have
it does totally
standards. Yeah.
Yep, that's key. See those windows behind it on the rack? Stacks of windows, all the same size.
And are all your houses James Hardy siding?
Yeah, or fiber cement. Sometimes, depending on what the supply chain these days are.
Right.
Hardy quit making the trim, so now we're using Allura trim. But then there's Hardy siding, Allura siding. So,
yeah, for sure. And then what are all those window boxes I'm seeing sitting there?
Yep, exactly. They're all fabbed up. We build them on this cart right here. Everything's accessible. Your glue. That was kind of a cool jig. You got your glue bottle sits right in here. This is your square up right here.
Yeah.
Real basic. Everything carts on wheels. They cut their stuff on the chop saw right here. And then boom, they drop it right onto this cart with all of them laid out, ready to go. And then they lift them up here, cut, and then drop them in place right there.
Sure.
So,
and how many units are you putting out a week from where you're at?
One was every 3 days, 1 2/3.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, so they're cooking right along.
Yeah,
We can
and,
step
and
inside
it's
this
super
one.
clean. Is it always this clean?
Yeah, this is dirty. You kidding me? I know we painted the floor and it looks clean and sharp, but yeah, cleanliness is key because it's employee satisfaction and it just feels good.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, vaulted ceiling,
Pine.
pine. Yeah, this is a 10-foot wide, so we want to make it feel nice and bright and tall. So this is a loft.
A lot of people really do not understand because from the outside, a home looks small, but when you get inside and you start feeling the volume, we had it happen in our motorhome all the time. People would come in, and by the time you opened it up, there's a lot of space. I mean, look at that. And I'm assuming that's the longer module there.
Yeah, 40 feet long.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
10-foot wide. But still, this is smaller than our normal one. Our big units. So we advertise to the world at large as tiny homes, but really they're small modular homes.
Yeah.
Because one of the keys when I lived in a tiny house, 12 by 20, first married, I had to have a full size shower. I'm 6'6". This is 5 foot wide. My head and my hiney would hit on the 3 by 3 shower stall when I dropped the bar of soap. So I said, no dice. Our homes, we're going to go with the full size. That's 5 foot wide shower stall right there.
Yeah. Every great idea comes from a passion that somebody has, right? And your passion was not hitting your head anymore.
Right, exactly. And then we had a kitchenette that was the size of that window, 3 feet wide. So I said, no, I want full size appliances. So you'll see in our houses as we go down the line that it's actually a usable, livable kitchen.
Yeah, I definitely want to see some finished product as well. And I know our viewers want to see some finished products. And when we get to the end of the finished product, Derek, I want you to walk us through the permitting process, and why some markets are easier than others for ADU acceptance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'd love to.
Yeah.
So this stage, they're painting them, right? We pull these big curtains back, right? Pull them across, spray them right here in place. And yeah.
So you're not buying the pre-painted siding. You're buying just the I guess unfinished.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is the purpose of that?
Customization, and we have to paint it anyways. And in our neighborhood, I mean, there's only 2 or 3 stocking colors, and the cost was twice. And we have some really good painters on staff, and we've always just done it this way, I guess. I haven't looked into the pre-finished stuff.
Great.
So yeah, as you've seen on any production line, just furthering the level of quality as they come down. This is a sheetrock ceiling. For the West out here, smooth wall sheetrock is uncommon. So that's one thing that sets us apart, is the smooth texture on the walls.
So smooth texture on the wall, and then the ceilings, are they all pine or is there options?
No, there's options.
Yeah.
This is drywall. Totally.
Smooth ceiling, or do you do a rough ceiling?
Smooth ceiling. Ductless heat pump, you can see stubbed out here on the right.
Recessed lights, got it.
Yep. Exactly.
All LED.
Simple. Yeah, all LED.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These homes were custom run, super high end, Anderson windows. Yeah, we're pretty proud of these ones.
Yeah, those are beautiful. And are they going to a resort area, or is that just somebody's private property?
Yep. No, they're going to a resort to the town of Seabrook.
And where is Seabrook at?
Seabrook, Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
It's on the Washington coast.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a taller vaulted ceiling. Cabinets are ready to go in.
Yep. We're losing you a little bit in there,
just so you know. Panel, Leviton stuffed on the inside right here. Say what?
We're losing you a little bit. You're starting to fade out. Your internet's fading out a little bit, just letting you know.
Okay. I'll step back out. How's that?
Yeah, much better.
I'm in a building,
yeah.
Right? So the metal roofing inside our Ubiquity Wi-Fi connection must not like it.
You are preaching my pain. I live and breathe it all the time.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, so, look at that.
We'll look from the outside then.
Yeah, but you can probably go right up to it. Let's take a look in there. Yeah. Everybody's working. Mm-hmm. Great. Tiled backsplash, huh?
Yeah, full tile backsplash.
Awesome. I mean, I think it's amazing, again, what you can do with smaller spaces, smaller buildings. You know, there's so many people that are interested in seeing this process and understanding how it all comes together. And the fact that you're putting out a couple of these a week is spectacular, and that your pipeline is completely full. Love it. Single panel doors. Yeah.
Yeah, just clean,
full washer,
nice,
dryer.
sharp lines. Yeah.
So the washer and dryer, all the appliances come installed, ready for the customer on
Right.
site.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Let's run outside. There's going to be a point where it goes from my Wi-Fi to my cellular, so let's hope that works.
Yep.
Guard smooth, seamless process. Yeah, here's our storage inventory, and yeah, just trying to always keep it lean and efficient.
So why don't we, before you walk out, let's talk about the permit process, just in case we do lose you there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so I think it's super. Yeah, I think you're good. And then we can look outside. I think the permit process is super, super important because, you know, some areas it's easier to get permitted. Some areas it's not. Some areas they're starting to include ADUs into the code as accepted.
Yep. Yep.
So how does that work? And do you facilitate all of the permit process for the job, or do you have to use the customer for that as well?
We do all of it ourselves. So
yeah,
if we have a question, we'll go and talk with the customer and find out whatever rules and regulations from the jurisdiction, and then relay that back to the customer. But we're full service, 100%.
You're full service. So you're hand holding them. There's no finger pointing, none of that. It's
nothing.
Yeah.
No, the fingers all point to us. If we got an issue, it's because we didn't go get the signature. If we don't have a document, it's because we forgot to ask it from the jurisdiction. So it's 100% on us.
Well, let me. I got a question here for you. I'm going to read two comments. The first one is from Chris Dros, all the way from Poland. I love Chris, one of my most favorite people in the world. Hi, greetings from Poland. We love tiny house idea and produced a lot during pandemic time. Huge need for them worldwide, solves a lot of today's problems. And then he had a follow-up comment that I'm going to put up here with a question. Do you have to change specs from state to state, or you have some standards that meet most codes? Is it easier to go through the building process with tiny houses than regular size houses? So do you build the different codes, and also is it easier to do a tiny house than a regular site built home?
So great question. We build to the IRC, International Residential Code, right? Now, then you have the local state adoptions that slightly tweak from that. So we're like we were shown on the installation, R24 and the
I don't know if we lost your sound there, Derek. Are you back?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We lost you just for a second. We lost you right when you were talking about insulation or something.
Yep. So the insulation works for all jurisdictions. They all allow it, but they all have slightly different requirements. But we build to the most stringent of both of them, and then it meets both. Is that making sense?
Yeah, it does. So you basically build to whatever state's highest code is. Yeah.
Yep.
Just build to the highest code, make it your standard, then you have no issues no matter where you go.
And limit the number of buildings. We only do 5 plans.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
5
and
plans.
then that way it's easy to keep it consistent. And if the plan doesn't sell, then drop it and get a better plan.
Right. Well, and that's it. And what I love about the process you showed, and we'll get some more comments here in a second, is, you know, you do not have to be high tech to be efficient. You do not have to be high tech to have a clean shop and put product out the door. This is so important that people don't understand it, right?
You're absolutely right. No, but it's the simplest thing that everybody looks past. It starts with the basics and cleanliness and just simple basic, fixed. We call it the 2-second lane. Like Paul Akers up there at Fast Cap, if you've ever toured or looked at anything he does, incredible.
Yeah.
But 2-second lane, fix what bugs you. If there's something that bugs you, take 2 seconds and fix it. And guess what? It's fixed for the rest of the time you're working.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. All right, let's say hi to a couple people. What do you say? Hey, we got Gregory Laha. Geez, I can't speak today, Greg. Sorry. Good afternoon, gentlemen. And you might know this guy. I think you know. Do you know Ben Hershey? Derek Huegel, thank you for sharing with Dave Cooper Live, folks, the success you are having with Wolf Industries. Tiny homes are home than just more than just a home. Think how you can expand your current home office space, home classroom, and more. Super true.
Right. But
Hey,
you got to stick to your knitting, Dave, too, right? Like, I agree with that, but stick to what you do and what you're very good at.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, and Ben's been in this industry a long time. Forward Solutions Group. He is one of our sponsors, so it's always cool when they log in, they support us, and we appreciate you, Ben. Good to see you in here. Oh man, look, it looks like we're going to London. Very clean and tidy. We got Tom Reddy. Great to see custom capabilities and expandability. I would love to introduce you to integrating like gauge steel wall panels, trusses, and joists into your process. Looks awesome. So Tom's been in the obviously the light gauge steel industry for quite some time. A wealth of knowledge, whether you build steel or wood. Just so you know, I know Tom, so that's great. All right, we're from YouTube. CG, thanks for joining us today, CG. I'm not sure I've seen you on the show before, but we appreciate you being here. Thanks for sharing great information on building similar models using, light gauge steel in South Texas. Well, maybe you guys should all talk. Who knows? Maybe here's the one thing I've learned, Derek, on our show and in our groups that we put together is, a lot of times business owners feel like they're out on an island by themselves. There is somewhere in your process that you can improve, the same way there's somewhere in other people's processes to improve. So whether you guys do business or not, we need everybody to start talking, whether it's steel or wood. It's just a different widget.
I agree. I totally agree. I'm same page. I mean, back to the 2-second improvements. Find something that bugs you. Fix it.
That's right. 2-second improvements. We should do a whole show on that. We'll call it the 2-second modular improvement show.
You could.
We love it.
You could.
With Derek Huegel and Dave Cooper. All right, coming to you live in a few weeks. Andrew Seeley, G-Pods. What's happening, Andrew? Great offsite manufacturing team, makes for a great show. And Chris says, thanks. You have a great product. Perfect timing, he says. So how cool is that, man?
Super cool.
Yeah, we love it. Oh, we got another one popping in. Thanks, Dave and Derek. This is a great topic. Bill Schofield. Good to see you, Bill. So, Derek, I know you wanted to show us outside. So, we can take an opportunity to do that now. And I'll read some more comments as they're popping in. Gene Meredith, what's happening, Gene? Thank you for joining us. There's some serious trade skills on those production lines, organized and efficient.
I agree. Couldn't do.
Derek, how are you still with us, Derek? See, good thing we went through. Are you with? Maybe go back inside so we can finish up. I see you got a full product line out there, but it's not switching over just yet. So if we're learning anything today, and we're going to wait for Derek to come back in, if we're learning anything today, it's the little things that matter. It's not the high tech in the beginning. You grow into the high tech. You grow into the automation. You grow into lasers and everything else that's out there in BIM. You gotta make what you have work first. I love it. The 2-second fixes or whatever he was just saying, that's what's super important to all this. The second improvements with Derek, there you go. Love it. So, all right, I see him starting to wing around back down there. Let's see if he pops back in here in a second. But if not, I hope everybody enjoyed this show. I mean, Derek is an innovator. He's a leader in this industry. He is taking it to the next level. And I think there you go. Jen's popping all kinds. Productivity, 5 plans and homes completed in 3 days. You're absolutely right. So I see Derek's throwing some stuff up there. Are you with us, Derek?
I am. I'm back on cellular service now after I got off the Wi-Fi. We're good.
Yeah. Good. All right. So look, you have trailers there. Those look like they're custom-made trailers just for your product. Would that be?
You're absolutely right. This was something we couldn't find. We had it built. I guess I'm just walking out here trying to stay away from the Wi-Fi so it doesn't try kicking us back over there.
Yeah.
But, this is our custom carrier that we built, and it'll go up 4 feet. We keep all our houses in the yard up high. I think most everybody else does as well. So we can take the trailer, fold these back wings down and slide it under, airbag it up, and away we go. So all right,
you have an extendable tongue on the front of that, so you can adjust for the length of your modules. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
And just so everybody knows, we haven't talked about this, but I've been in this industry a long time, and that's where I'm kind of seeing what you did there. I love that. That's great. What an awesome idea.
Else has one of these.
Not that I've seen.
It pivots right here. This airbag comes up, and this trailer will come up about 4 feet. And this is still hooked up to our truck.
So you have an airbag on the trailer itself.
Yeah, the two of them. You can see them right there.
Oh, there it is. Yep, I got it.
It's flattened out. That thing
I'm
airs up.
I'm gonna zoom in.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah,
So
I see it now.
that thing airs up, right? And it pivots on that beam right there. And then it just hinges up.
Wow.
Here's another 2-second lean, right? So we have these things, but to hand crank it takes forever. So we have all these 1/2-inch drills with a 1/2-inch drive, and we can run this jack down in about 10 seconds. Done.
Just show up, plug it in, and squeeze the trigger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so back to this side, we have independent suspension on either side, all these airbags. We can lift this whole trailer, tilt it sideways. Again, going back to complete owning the process from delivery and setup all the way through. Yeah, we're responsible. We want to get our guys in and out fast, right, and safe.
And the carriers, is there a max load on those carriers that each one can handle?
This right here can handle anything that we do, anything that we throw at it.
Right.
There is a max load. We have to read the tire ratings and all that stuff. It's like 50,000 pounds or something big.
Yeah.
So
impressive.
Yeah, we drew it all up and designed it. You saw the fab shop over there. Here's our original trailer. This one was kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, so that has an extendable tongue as well. Is that what I'm seeing? It goes back and forth.
Yep, exactly. And then that has the same wings like this that fold over the back.
Sure.
So you got a short house and you don't need the wings, and they're in the way in a downtown Portland back neighborhood. You just pull those pins and pop them off.
How important is the right carrier on site to get the job done? Have less cracking issues or any deflection in the house when you're loading it or unloading it?
Oh, it's key. Like it's a game changer. From this old carrier to our new carrier, and the rigidity and stiffness of this one, we can see a big time difference.
Sure.
Totally.
I can see that already.
Totally.
Awesome.
Let's try going in this house. I really want to show off the customization that we run down our line. So,
now, is this for the resort or is this just a customer's home?
This is for that resort.
Look at the bunk beds.
Check that out. That's cool.
It is cool. Got their own lights and everything.
Drawers. Yeah, exactly. Built-in lights, their own little switch. The push button, little bead board. So,
yeah.
Full-size shower again.
So, all right. So is that subway tile, it looks like?
Yep. It's a wavy, handcrafted subway tile that looks unique.
Yeah, it gives it a rustic feel. And so everybody knows out there, because this is always a debate. Should you tile? Should you not tile? How many problems do you have with all your tiling work? And is there anything special that you do differently than somebody would do on site?
I think that whole debate centers around whether a modular plant wants to do it because they have the skill or not. Because if you got the skill and you put it in, right, we haven't had any cracks.
Derek, this is what I love. I know you say you're 33, but I got you by 20 almost. So, but here's the deal. This is the difference in how older manufacturing thought about doing things and how you're thinking about doing things. And you're 100% spot on all the homes I built over the years. Tiling always was a headache because it just wasn't installed right. And it wasn't always because it'd come loose or crack. It just wasn't set right. It just wasn't smooth, like the joints, like you'd stub your toes on them.
Right. Exactly. And so if you get the install right and you do all that jazz, and you got the labor for it, it'll go fine.
Yeah.
But when I have a customer that's coming to me and I know in the back of my head that I don't have the guys to do it, then I'm making excuses and kicking the can down the road. Well, we don't want to do it because, going down the road and what have you. So it's just one of those. Modular always has the ability to throw excuses left and right.
Yes, we do. But that's changing with better, younger minds coming in, such as yourself. So I love it. Personally.
10 by 30 right here, Model B. That's our baby plan.
Yeah, great.
And I don't know, it's just all nice, high quality stuff our guys do. So
Yeah,
and
it's very,
because
very clean.
we have super high reviews, 5-star across the board, everybody's, and the control, I don't know. It's a whole,
So
it's a see, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go back to having you back on screen and talk about this one last time, and then we're going to wrap it up here. I think super important for everybody to understand to get the quality and efficiency as we're building today. I think it's going to improve with technology over time. You're able to maintain a high level of quality, a high level of efficiency, a high level of awesomeness and the culture in the manufacturing facility, and a high level of customer satisfaction, because just like fast food markets and other industries, you focus on what you're good at. You're not everything to everybody.
Nope.
And that's what makes it work for you. And that's where your success is coming from. And I think people really need to understand that. I don't think we need more options out there. I think we need less options, just well designed and put together, and people know that they're going to get what they want and it's going to work.
Yep. So I was talking with the remodeler, custom remodeler. He says, "Oh, every job I'm married to them. I'm married to them." I'm like, "Well, dude, they show up in my shop and they're married to me. Like, I've got the program. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Either like our program or not, right?" And then they sign up, and then they beat to our drum versus me beating to their drum. That's the key difference.
Yeah, for sure. I got one more question for you, and then we're going to have to go on this one. Andrew Wilkinson, the tiny house fire regulations and structural regulations, acoustics regulations. So are the fire regulations, the structural regulations, and acoustic regulations, are they the same as any site-built home?
Correct, yeah. There is Appendix Q in the IRC that we could adopt or go to, but inside there it says you're adopted only by the local jurisdiction. So all the state level modular approvals, they won't touch it with the 10-foot pole. So we just stick with regular construction methods.
Yeah. So he says, thank you for sharing your process, Derek and Dave. Thank you, Jen, as well. Tom Reddy, awesome show, guys. Love seeing what others are doing. I might be taking your idea. Well, there you have it.
That's easy. It's all a bunch of work, right, Dave?
Listen, there's so much work for all of us out there. The more we can grow as an industry and start talking with each other and coming together versus thinking we all have some secret widget and some secret IP that's going to take it to the next level, we're going to get there faster. And I think we're going to get there together. What's that?
You saw my shop. There's no technology.
I know. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, Derek, don't go anywhere. I'll come back to you after the outro. For everybody else out there, thank you for watching today. Make sure you sign in for BS Friday with Mark Bare Naked Willie this Friday, 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about building science, and we're gearing up. We're heading to Switzerland. We're going on a tour of factories in Switzerland with SIGA. So we're really looking forward to do that as well and show you what they're doing over in Europe coming off our London trip. All right, Derek, listen. Give a big wave to everybody, and we will catch up with you all on Friday. Derek, you stay right there. I'll come back to you after the outro. Bye, everybody.